what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Dear Young Preacher. My name is Benji, and I'm so glad you're watching. Dear Young Preacher is thoughts and experiences from one young preacher to another. We get to journey on this thing called preaching and figure out tips and tricks and nuances. And so I'm so excited that you're here for another episode. Like we said or wrote in the intro, today we're talking about how to be successful. And I guess success is different when you're a Christian and maybe when you're not a Christian, I don't know. But I think it's important for us to engage in this topic because I think we all have this innate desire to be successful. We could wrap it around, yeah, but I'm humble, yeah, but I'm this or that. But I think we all want to leave an impact on the world. Maybe that's not a fair assumption, but I know I want to be successful. I want to make a difference in the world. And so I found myself reading the book of Joshua with a friend the other day. Shout out to Antonio. In the book of Joshua, Joshua chapter 1, the text begins God telling Joshua, be strong and courageous, which is such a dope imagery. But then it goes on and talks about success. And he's talking about, man, I've given you the possession of these lands. These lands are yours. It all belongs to you. Just be strong and courageous and don't worry. And to be successful, just be obedient. Man. And when I tell you that has rocked me, it's been about 2 weeks since we've read that first chapter. And that still is on my spirit. That in order to be successful, you must be obedient. And I love that imagery because it's like, okay, be obedient to what? And it's be obedient. It says meditate on the word, meditate on the law, and keep it on your heart day and night. That in order to be successful, we have to focus on the word of God, which is so like upside down from our culture because our culture says in order to be successful, it's about the connections, it's about the grind, it's about the hustle. But this is clearly saying, man, if you're obedient to God, you will be successful. So revolutionary, so crazy to imagine. Most of us don't even know the 10 Commandments anymore. Here, I'll give you a few seconds, and you could go list off the 10 Commandments. Here we go. Exactly. You don't know all 10 commandments because you're not saved. JK. That's a joke. It's a joke. But it's like, man, if that's what's supposed to lead us to success, then how do we not know that key ingredient? That to honor God and not put anything before Him. Man, how are we supposed to lead to successful lives worth leading if we're not actually focusing and meditating on the Word of God? See, a lot of people look at the law and man, they're like, Jesus made a way. I don't have to focus on the law anymore. Jesus fulfilled the law. I'm covered by grace. And yes, it's true. But you see, Jesus came to promise two things. We believe in Jesus to get salvation and believe that nothing gets in the way of that. But then there's this promise of abundant life here on earth. And so focusing on the law and meditating on the law and actually following what God commands and following what God says, that won't get you into heaven or not, but no, it promises you that abundant life here on earth. And I want to have all that God has promised me. I want you to have all that God promised you. And that comes through obedience. It's not about the money. It's not about the power necessarily, because we could think, man, successful is a mansion and it's, all these rich friends or whatever. But it means that you will live with the fullness of life that Jesus has promised us. That can mean different things for different people, but that's what it means. That when we seek the kingdom and when we're obedient to kingdom law and kingdom truth, that's when success and all those other things are added unto us. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, guys? So glad you got to check out this past episode. I really, really think and have really been convicted by obedience leads to success. Man, not the connections, not anything else, but obedience. And I want to challenge you guys as listeners, you guys as readers, whatever, I mean, you're not really reading. But I want to challenge you guys. How are you being faithful? How are you being obedient to God? We're here to push each other further. And so be obedient, and that will result in the promises and fullness of God. Nonetheless, like, follow, subscribe, comment below. Would love to hear your thoughts. And check out this video right here. Nonetheless, grace and peace.